What's up, everybody? Curtis Wilkerson here with Inside Arkansas, coming to you from the T-Mobile Center following the Razorbacks 90-77 loss to Illinois. Want to hit you with the post-game report card. I was hoping that on Thanksgiving I could just hand out a bunch of A's, right? Like that's ideally what you'd be able to do. But the Razorbacks struggled in this one, ran into an Illinois team that might be a buzzsaw, man. At least tonight they looked really, really good. Obviously hit 15 threes, just sharper, crisper, kind of a step ahead of Arkansas in so many different ways, kind of every facet of the game, quite frankly. Razorbacks did some good things. They fought, but couldn't overcome the three-point defense, couldn't overcome their own shooting woes, whether it was from three or the free throw line, and were never really able to get over that hump from, 9-10 points several times in the second half. Couldn't get any closer than that, and they fall to 5-2 on the season and got to figure some things out before they go have a tough one at Miami early next week. But let's get into these grades real quick. Arkansas did have their full rotation technically, although I'm not 100% sure that everybody was 100%, but they did play 9 in this game. We'll start at the top of the box score and kind of work our way down. Thero, want to give him a lot of credit for the effort that he put forth. You know, from a physicality and athleticism standpoint, he belonged on the floor and looked like he was up for the challenge. Did some really good things for the Razorbacks in this one, but also had some struggles, right? You look up at the end of the day, he's got 26 points. That's great. 6 rebounds in this game, 7 or 13 from the field. He drew how many fouls? 14 times he drew fouls. 21 times he got to the free throw line, but he only made 12 of 21. So just an unbelievable job of being aggressive, getting downhill, getting to the rim. Illinois had no answer for him from that standpoint, but you got to be able to cash in on those opportunities. Usually a steady free throw shooter really struggled in this game. You can't leave 9 free throws on the board in a game that you lose by 13, especially with some of the other things that you had going on. So like a lot of what he did, like the aggressiveness, got to ding him for the free throws. We're probably going to go with a C+. That's a lot of free throws to be missed there. And honestly, he played well defensively at times, but it wasn't his best game on that end of the floor. Not nearly as disruptive and dominant as he has been in games past. Zvonimir Ivisic, Big Z, he lost the battle of the Big Z's in this one. Unfortunately, like, he won the jump ball against his brother, and then his brother kind of took it to him there for a large stretch of this game. Got into some early foul trouble, had 2 fouls set out for a large stretch of the first half. Was better, I thought, in the second half of this game. He hits 3 3-pointers, 3 of 6, so he continues to shoot over 50% from 3. That's very good. You look up at the end of the night, he's got 13 points, 6 rebounds, and a couple block shots. But man, some of the turnovers are problematic. There's just a level of softness and casualness to some of the turnovers. He gets a rebound, they poke it out from his hands, not being strong with it. Was trying to play guard and just kind of rip through and drive it on a guy, dribble it off his foot. Those are the little things that you can't really have there. And then, you know, we know that ball screen defense has been a little bit of an issue for him. It was in this game as well, and his brother kind of lit him up from that standpoint. Speaking of his brother, Tomislav finishes with 21 points. He goes 6 of 9 from 3, has a double-double with 10 rebounds. So the dude was absolutely dominant in this game and got the best of Arkansas's version of the Ivisic twins. We're going to go with a C- for Big Z in this game. Arkansas needs him to continue to shoot threes because it's a deal where you have to have him on the floor because he can knock them down, but he can't be giving up more than he's making. And so he's got to continue to improve on that pick-and-roll defense moving forward and being stronger with the basketball for the Razorbacks. Jonell Davis, we're going to go D in this game for Jonell Davis. You know, we thought that maybe he had found something offensively. Had the good game against Maryland Eastern Shore, 16 points, knocking down some 3-pointers, and just kind of reverted back to some of the things that have been problematic for Arkansas early on this season. And again, I'll say it once again, this is a group effort. This is like a group failure right now. From the standpoint of Jonell Davis should never be taking 3 shots in the game. That's all he took. He made 1 3-pointer. Looked like he was going to be aggressive maybe early on. He rimmed out a 3, and then he drove hard baseline. I thought he got fouled. He thought he got fouled, but a lot of contact, didn't get the call, and just packed up shop for the rest of the first half. And he's barely getting touches. He's just hanging out there in the corner, which is not what you want to see from him, and it's not effective for him. Boogie Fland's in foul trouble. Arkansas refuses to put him on the ball at all, and I don't understand why they continue to do that. Because you got to have the ball in his hands and let him create a little bit. When he was touching it in the second half, good things happened. He had several assists to Big Z during a little run in the second half, and he finishes with 6 assists in this game and a couple steals. That's all good. Arkansas needs him to score. They need him to be assertive and aggressive, especially when some of your other guys who've been consistent and relied upon offensively didn't have it going. He's got to be taking more than 3 shots in the game. He should be taking more than 3 threes in a game, much less shot attempts, period. He's got to be upward of 10 per game. And if they're not going to do anything to get him the basketball, then he's got to start demanding it. I think it's just kind of where we're at with him. So again, good assist, some good things defensively, although he was the culprit on some of the 3-point woes that Arkansas had on the defensive end of the floor. Got to take more than 3 shots, man, for sure. Let's see, who's next on my list here? Oh yeah, Boogie Fland. 2 of 12 from Boogie Fland. That's the roughest shooting game that he's had. I think he only had 1 assist. Did he have more than 1 assist in this game? Yeah, just 1 assist, 2 turnovers. The physicality, the size of Illinois' backcourt really got to him, I thought. And we said there were going to be some games where he looks like a freshman, even though he's outplayed that for a majority of the season so far. And this was one of those games. Couldn't get it going, wound up taking some bad shots, had some tough turnovers there. Didn't look like he was ready to play, and even once he settled in, couldn't get the shots to fall. Boogie's way better than that, and Arkansas needs better than that. If you're going to have a game where you're not scoring, you got to have the assists up. If you're going to have a game where you have a bunch of turnovers, maybe you need to make up for it in the scoring column or with some steals, right, defensively to kind of counteract those things. Didn't quite get it from Boogie in this game, so we're going to have to go with a D for Boogie in this one as well. DJ Wagner, from a physicality standpoint, I thought he was ready. Like he looked like he belonged out there. Some guys didn't, but he's strong. He's physical. He was getting downhill, doing some good things from that juncture. Was a little tunnel vision at times when he was on the ball as the point guard. When Boogie was out of the game, although he did have some good 2-man stuff going on with the Dude Theoro, so I'll give him credit for that. But missed a lot of guys that were open. Kind of failed to reverse the ball and get Arkansas in their offense, and too many no-pass possessions there from DJ. And then defensively, again, he's really been a lockdown guy for Arkansas, not so much in this game. I think he was maybe a little bit better than the other guys. So I'm going to go C, I think, for DJ. Billy Richmond is going to be my one guy that gets an A for the Razorbacks in this game. Man, he just continues to play so well. He did so many good things for Arkansas today. Really provided a lift, gave him a spark, whatever you want to call it, coming off the bench. But he was ready. He's fearless in there, so his aggressiveness, his confidence, his athleticism, his toughness, it all played in this game. And he really had some big moments, man. His steal in transition dunk there in the second half, I thought that was going to be the one that maybe got Arkansas over the hump, but it didn't. But you look up at the end of the night, man, 6 of 9, 12 points. 4 rebounds, a couple steals. I just thought he played really, really well. And it's good to see him continue to progress. And the more he continues to play well, the more I think he should be on the floor, frankly. He was a guy who Arkansas, it felt like they couldn't take him out of the game, or they shouldn't take him out of the game. They were a better team with him on the floor. And that's good to see. So happy for Billy Richmond. If there's a silver lining you're looking to take away from this one, it's probably that. Billy Richmond was really good. Trevon Brazil, he only played 7 minutes in this game. He played 90 seconds in the first half and picked up 2 fouls and came out. And so that was tough. You would like to see him play a little bit more. I thought he did some good things in his rotations in the second half. He did knock down a 3. Good to see him step into one. He did have a putback dunk. That was nice. I thought he competed in there, but it's really almost not even enough to have a good sample size to evaluate him. Did he get a rebound? Yeah, 2 rebounds, 5 points. Just not enough there with the 7 minutes for me to really give him a full evaluation and grade. I don't think that's fair, so I'm just going to go in the middle and call it a C. But I do want to see more minutes out of him. I think if you wind up getting kind of a split, like a platoon kind of deal with him and Big Z, you might be all right. Although Jonas Aidoo was back, played more than maybe they thought he was going to play. I don't know if he was emergency duty only or what it was going to be. But when Z and Trevon both get 2 fouls in the first half, you got to go somewhere. I thought that Jonas Aidoo, did he look like the Tennessee version of himself? No. Did he look like the best version we've seen at Arkansas so far? Yes, I think that he did. He was moving better. He was a little bit more explosive, looked a little bit more comfortable in there. Still some things that he's obviously got to work on, got to get his legs underneath him, got to get his lungs, his confidence and his flow back. It's going to take some time. But he plays 10 minutes in this game, and he goes 1 for 1. He had a nice putback. He had a moment there where they kind of did a clear out and they dumped it into to Tomislav Ivisic, and it was a one-on-one mano-a-mano on the post, and he forces an air ball. So that was really good. Got another deflection that led to a steal. So there were some good things there. A couple times they just flat out missed him on a roll where he could have had an easy dunk and some points in there. some miscommunications on the perimeter in the pick and roll. Although he is already Arkansas's best option as a pick and roll defender at the 5, he just is, especially against the roll, especially in drop coverage, kind of like what we saw Must do a little bit last year. But when it was a pick and pop situation, or they were trying to, like randomly get him switched off onto a guard, and then you'd have Boogie Fland on the 7'2" guy, like you can't have that, and that's just going to come with time, chemistry, communication, and getting back out on the floor and getting comfortable. I was really happy to see him back out there. I'm going to give him a B for the minutes that he had. Carter Knox, wow, he scores 21 points against Maryland Eastern Shore. That's great. You love to see it. And then he barely plays in this game, and I don't know what it was. I need to go back and watch the game on television to see exactly what was going on. I don't know if he was lost offensively, or maybe he was hurt or not moving well, but he just didn't play much. Only 7 minutes in this game. He didn't get a single shot up after leading the team in shot attempts 2 games in a row. I don't necessarily understand that. Only 1 rebound, had a foul, had a turnover, and that was pretty much it, man. We didn't see much from him. So, again, another guy that it's kind of hard to evaluate because we didn't see enough out of him. So I'll go see there. And that's almost like, or maybe incomplete would be a better way to put it. Maybe that's a better way to put it with Trevon, although he had some important second half minutes, but just not enough there, and it's weird. I'm not exactly sure what was going on. So like I said, I kind of got to go back and look, but it was a frustrating one for Razorback fans on Thanksgiving. Offensively, they didn't shoot it well, didn't shoot free throws well, weren't moving very crisp. It was kind of just duck your head and drive and hope that you get fouled. C- maybe offensively. Got to go D- right on the defensive end of the floor. They did better than I thought they would on the glass, rebounding against an Illinois team that's really good there. But the three-point defense was non-existent. The ball screen defense was really, really rough. And every time they started to string together a little momentum in this building and you thought that they were going to get back into it, Illinois would just hit big shot after big shot, and they really had no resistance for him. So appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. I'm going to get out of here. I got to drive back home from Kansas City and enjoy a little Friday Thanksgiving, but thank you for tapping in with me, and make sure you get subscribed to Inside Arkansas YouTube page. Check out InsideArkansas.com for all of our coverage there. Appreciate you guys as always. It's been Curtis Wilkerson with the Pot at the Palace. We'll see you guys soon.